I took her entire client list, 237 contacts she'd spent 3 years building, exported it from the shared drive we both had access to, and launched my own freelance design studio the same week she left for her sister's wedding. Okay, so, before you make that face, yes, I know how that sounds. But you don't know what the last 8 months of living with Priya were like. You don't know what it felt like to watch her turn something we built together into her personal brand while I got a shared Notion doc and a thank you emoji.
Oh, we built it together. Tell them about the part where I signed every single client. Tell them who was on every call. Tell them who pulled 3 all-nighters in January alone while you were literally asleep.
I did the work, Priya. I did so much of the work. The Bellamy rebrand, that was my concept start to finish. The Hendrix pitch deck, I built every single slide. You presented it. You got the contract. You added it to your portfolio, not ours, yours, with your name on it.
Because it was MY Business, Maya, my LLC, my tax ID, my liability. You were my roommate who asked if she could help with some overflow projects for extra cash. That was the deal. Don't rewrite history.
The deal changed. The deal changed the second you started paying yourself a salary and telling clients you had a team. I was the team, Priya. I was the whole team. And I was still paying half the rent on a freelancer's budget while you bought a new monitor and wrote it off as a business expense.
So your solution was to steal 200 contacts, including my mom's dental practice, by the way, and email them all pretending to be the new version of the studio I built. You literally sent them a message saying, and I quote, exciting news, the creative direction of our studio is evolving. Your new studio, you wrote your studio.
I worded that badly. I know, that was okay, that specific line was bad, but I didn't lie to any of them about what I was offering. I was just introducing myself as their new point of contact for design services. That's it.
11 of them replied thinking I had retired. 11. Mrs. Kowalski sent me a card, Maya, a physical card in the mail wishing me all the best in my next chapter. I had to call her back and explain that I had not retired. I am 26.
Okay, I didn't know she was going to word it like that. I said evolving, not I didn't tell anyone you were gone. They inferred. And can we talk about the fact that you didn't reach out to me once while you were at that wedding? 4 days. I texted you about the Henderson contract renewal and you left me on read.
I was at my sister's wedding. I was in a bridesmaid dress, and you used those 4 days, the exact 4 days I was unreachable, to poach my clients. You planned it around the wedding, Maya. Don't pretend that was a coincidence.
I'm not going to pretend it was a coincidence. I timed it. I did. Because I knew if I tried to have this conversation with you face to face, you would talk me out of it. You always do. You have this way of making me feel like I'm being crazy when I'm actually just finally saying something true.
And stay with me here, or maybe when I told you that you were being crazy, it was because the thing you were suggesting was crazy. Like the time you wanted us to raise our rates by 80% overnight and fire half the clients because you didn't vibe with their energy. Remember that.
The Denton Media account paid us $1,400 for a full brand refresh. 1,400, that took 6 weeks. I stand by wanting to drop them. I stand by that completely.
That project paid your November rent, but sure, bad vibes, very valid reason. Anyway, you kept 7 of my clients, Maya, 7, including the Bellamy account that you keep bringing up like it earns you some kind of credit. You now invoice them directly from your new studio with a name that is suspiciously close to mine.
Studio Luma and LumaWorks they are not the same name, Priya. Luma is a word. It's a word that exists in the world.
You literally helped me name Studio Luma. You were there. We were eating leftover pad see you at midnight and you suggested it. You wrote it on a napkin. I still have the napkin, Maya. I kept it because I thought it was cute. I have the napkin.
I forgot about the napkin. I didn't consciously look. Maybe some of this crossed lines. Maybe the name was a mistake. But the clients I kept were the ones I had the direct relationships with. They would have followed me anyway. I just moved first.
They would have followed you anyway. Okay, and what about the ones who didn't? What about the 14 who emailed me confused, scared that the business they were working with had collapsed? What about my reputation? Did you think about what this looked like for me to the people who didn't pick up your calls?
No, I didn't think about that part enough. I thought about what I wanted. I thought about the fact that I'd spent a year helping you build something beautiful and I had nothing to show for it except a Venmo history and a bruised ego. And I acted. And some of it I would do differently, not all of it, but some.
Not all of it. Wow, okay. Which part are you keeping? The stolen list or the copycat name? Be specific.
The part where I finally stopped letting someone else put their name on my work. That part I'm keeping, even if I went about it in the worst possible way, which for the record I know I did, I know.
I would have given you a real partnership if you had just asked. I was going to ask you in September. I had a whole conversation planned. I had a profit share structure drafted, but you did this instead, so.
I didn't know that. You never said that. You can't tell me that now and expect me to just. How was I supposed to wait for a conversation you never told me was coming?
You could have asked, you could have literally just asked. But yes, sure. It's more fun to steal a spreadsheet and ride off into the sunset with my client list and my studio name. Very bold move, Maya, very empowering.
She drafted a partnership agreement in September. I moved in October. I don't know what to do with that. I genuinely don't. LumaWorks has 4 clients now. Studio Luma has 17, and we still live in the same apartment for 3 more months because neither of us can afford to break the lease. So, that's where we are. What would you have done? Tell me in the comments. And if you've got a friend sitting on a secret this messy, send it to them. New confession dropping soon. Don't miss it.